Objects on a slope are often asked about in A-level physics, and in order to solve problems like this, it's really important to be able to work out the component of weight which is acting down the slope and perpendicular to the slope. And in order to do that, you need to understand trigonometry. Let's start by looking at a standard right-angled triangle, and I'm just going to label this angle in here theta. Now if that is theta, which is maybe an angle that we know, or it's something we're trying to find out, we can also label the other sides of that triangle. Now the longest side is a hypotenuse. I'm just going to label that H. We have a side of the triangle which is adjacent to the angle, so that's A, and then this side here is going to be opposite the angle, and that's going to be the opposite side. And if we look at the ratio of this side to that side, or this side to that side, that is then related to the angle that we have down here. And so what we can actually say is that sine theta is equal to the ratio of the opposite length to the length of that hypotenuse, and we can do the same for cos and tan as well. And what this means is that if you know two sides, you could work out the angle, or indeed if you knew the side of one length of that triangle and you knew the angle, you could work out another length, another side of that triangle. Now the way that people often remember this is just by thinking about SOHCAHTOA. So you've got sine, cos and tan. The way I actually remembered this when I was at school, and it's something that's just stuck with me ever since, is that we were taught silly old Harry couldn't afford his tired old alligator. But it doesn't really matter which way you remember it, as long as you can remember how to work out sine, cos and tan, and how that's related to the different sides of that triangle. Something else that's just worth pointing out is that because tan theta is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, if you take sine theta, which is the opposite over the hypotenuse, and you divide that by cos theta, the adjacent over the hypotenuse, these then cancel out, leaving the opposite over the adjacent, which is equal to tan theta. And occasionally that's useful. For example, you might be looking at centripetal force at an angle, and then you've got the components of a force, maybe in both the horizontal and vertical directions, and they then kind of simplify to tan theta. So let's have a look at a quick example. Here we have a triangle and we want to work out the angle theta. Now of course we could work out the length of this side by using Pythagoras, but if we want to work out the angle, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to label that the longest side is the hypotenuse. This is going to be my adjacent side, and this is going to be the opposite side to that angle. Now you could of course remember about Harry, but we've got SOHCAHTOA, and here we've got values for the opposite and the adjacent side, so we're going to be using this part here. So we can say that tan theta is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, and that means theta is tan to the minus 1 of O over A. So we can now put in some numbers, and this gives me an angle theta of 36.9, and I've been very careful to make sure that my calculator is set to degrees mode, not radians. So this has given me an angle in degrees, and I suppose the next thing we can do is just check if that looks right. Now that angle there is smaller than 45, and just looking at this diagram up here, even though it might not necessarily be to scale, we can see that this angle here is smaller than 45, that's 90, and this angle here looks to be bigger than 45. So that seems to be an appropriate answer. And so the biggest thing I'd recommend doing is every time you get a question where you need to use trigonometry is label your triangle. Label the hypotenuse, the angle theta, the opposite and the adjacent side. And if you do that, it makes it much simpler to actually select which of these equations you're going to use if you're using sine, cos or tan to work out the unknown in that calculation. By the way, this is just one of many videos I've made covering all of the maths that you need to understand for A-level physics. It's part of the mini course, which includes many more topic videos, multiple worked examples, and also a guide that you can download. You can find all of this over at alevelphysicsonline.com.